Hey, what's up, everybody? The reason why I'm making this video is because it just felt like it was my calling. A lot of stuff going on right now. Um, I don't have no, you know, special effects, no videos to show you, no nothing like that. It's just basically me talking and just trying to give the little bit of knowledge that I can um, in these times, in these crazy times that's going on right now. I want to just start off by talking about I'm gonna start off talking about the sun, and then I'm gonna go into other things. I'm trying to make this video quick. Try to make it within 10 minutes. Um, so, just talking about the sun and the earth and things of that nature. So, we all been told a lie that the sun is 92 million miles away and that the sun is in space. First of all, that's not true. And I have, you know, evidence to back that up. Um, this is not about a race thing. It don't matter if you black, white, Spanish, Chinese, Asian, Dominican, South American, African. It doesn't matter. We all people. We all could come together as we've shown through these protests. Um, we're gonna get into that part later, but right now let's just talk about the sun. Um, I've been doing my research, and we've been brainwashed in school to believe that the sun is 92 million miles away. At least that's what they tell us, going off NASA's information. The sun is 92 million miles away in space. It's so gigantic that because how far away it is, it looks small. Let's just kind of wake up here, people, and kind of try to open up your third eye and just see in reality as what you see, not what you've been taught. Okay, I'm just trying to open your eyes a little bit and open your minds and open your body and your soul, and just trying to listen and go along with me. You might have to go back into the video and start it over just to kind of listen to what I'm about to say. Um, since the beginning of time, since the beginning of creation, since the beginning of anything, we all look up into the sky and we see the sun. If you go back into biblical verses, I'm not going into any type of religion, texts and beliefs, and we all come across, we all can agree, no matter what culture you are, we all can agree, because every culture talks about a God, every culture has a story about a God, and that story about that God did the same thing in everybody's culture. So, but God talked about the firmament, okay? And this is the word firmament is something that you could Google. And the reason why I have a problem with why they didn't talk about this in school, or why they didn't push this narrative of what the firmament is, it was just basically brainwashed out of our minds so that we won't know what the firmament is. Only way people know about what the firmament is if they researched it, or if they have a belief, or that they believe that the earth is flat. And I'm going to say the word believe because the word believe is a lot of things. The word believe has lie in it. So you can believe something and it can still be a lie. And a lot of us go around saying, I believe this, I believe that. Or in the court system, they say it's a belief, or it's to believe. They use the word believe a lot in the judicial system. because belief has lie in it. Um, so what I'm about to say is actual facts that the sun is in the sky. The sun is smaller than what you think it is. The sun is how you tell time, and if you could basically visualize a clock, a hand clock, and you take that hand clock and you lay it flat down on the table, and the short hand should represent where the sun is at the moment. And we're gonna go into a little bit later in the video of why time is the sun. This is how we tell time, because it takes 24 hours for the sun to go around the earth and things of that nature. That's how we're able to tell time. And it was always be able to tell time no matter if it was night because of the shadows of the sun. This is how time was always kept. And time still exists. Time hasn't changed because the path of the sun. And the reason why I say the path of the sun is because we have different continents. We have, different areas of the earth. So we are in the United States. Well, I'm in the United States, and I'm gonna have a friend in China. I'm gonna have a friend in Africa, and we all know that if it's 5 o'clock where I'm at, then it's going to be a different time somewhere else. That just means that the sun hasn't traveled to that part of the earth or that part of the continent at that specific moment. That's why if you look at time, even in the United States, I'm in the Philadelphia area, time zone, Florida, New York. So you have other places, I'm going to say like California, they're 4 hours behind. Then you have places that's an hour behind, 2 hours behind, depending on where we at. And that's just basically how the sun travels. So, when it's 12 o'clock where I'm at, it's 12 o'clock p.m. where I'm at, then that means it's only 9 o'clock in California. So, about time the sun travels from where I'm at 12 o'clock, the sun is traveling forward and it's going around until it makes its circle back around again. I really don't know the actual path for the sun or how to, how the sun has a significant path, and that significant path also deals with, has something to do with the seasons as well, because the sun, I think it has it goes out, farther out, and then it comes back further in, but still maintaining that 24-hour path around, around the earth. So depending on that path, that's the way the sun works. And I say that because to me, it feels like the earth is not moving. I feel like the earth is still. I feel like the earth is on a flat foundation as described what the firmament is. So I think we are perfectly and still, not moving. And because of the sun, that's how we are able to tell time. And it just depending on where you're at that time, at that moment, wherever continent you're on, and how the sun travels. And we are perfectly still. We're not spinning thousands of miles, going in a circle or we're not doing none of that. So back to the sun. The sun is in the sky. In reality, when you're looking at the sun, you're looking at the sun in its actual size and its actual height in the sky. And we all notice how the sun dispersed through the clouds There's plenty of pictures you could Google about that. Actual pictures of the sun, not no CGI pictures. Because when you see CGI pictures of the sun, you're going to see a huge, gigantic sun. You're going to have make it to believe that you're looking at the sun through a video and all of that nature. That's not. That's all CGI. That's not real. That's all to brainwash you. Um, so, let's go back to the Bible and everything of that nature, where God talks about the firmament and that the earth is on a foundation. So if the earth is on a foundation, that means that foundation does not move. Let me say that again. I mean, if the earth is on a foundation, that means that foundation cannot move. It cannot be shifted. It doesn't rotate. It doesn't spin. It's a foundation. That same foundation, that's if you have a snow globe in your hand, and this earth is the actual representation of that snow globe. That's the reason why they call it a snow globe. I don't know why they didn't call it anything else. It could have been named anything else, but they call it a snow globe. And then we know that the globe is the earth, and we look at the earth as a globe model. But y'all call this little thing that you shake with a dome around it a snow globe. And we're going to get into the dome right now. The firmament is the dome, as described in the Bible. We are enclosed in. We are not traveling around in an empty space with no protection. Again, we are not flying around in space with no protection. And this is how they deceive you into believing that the atmosphere was causing a protection. But if there was a such thing as that atmosphere, you will not be able to see this. You will not be able to see the sun. You will not be able to see the stars if this atmosphere existed, because that would mean the atmosphere is higher than these things, or stretched farther out than the sun. It will stretch farther out than the stars, because this atmosphere will not be some type of invisible gases. It will be so thick that it will be pitch black, basically. If y'all talking about, it's the atmosphere that's protecting us, stopping things from coming in, and it's the atmosphere is so thick that it's a barrier. That barrier is that glass dome. That barrier is the glass dome, people. We all know that God created the earth, and very powerful. It just wasn't him by himself. God had other people to help him. If you read the stories in the Bible, and no matter what religion you are, it talks about the story of the firmament in the beginning, how God created the earth, how he made darkness into light. There we go again. So if you put this in perspective, you mean that God created the earth. You think that he set the sun 92 million miles away to brighten it? That just still doesn't make sense to me. Why would God, or why would any being put a light bulb out 92 million miles away to light up the earth? And if that was the case, space would never be dark. That much light traveling 92 million miles away just to brighten up certain parts of the earth during that time. When it's 6 o'clock here, that means the sun is coming closer to us. It's not rising. And that's another thing they lie to you about. The sun stays the same distance in the sky at all times. So when it's 6 o'clock where I'm at, and I start to notice that the sun is getting, it's starting to, getting a little bit lighter, that means that the sun is traveling towards this direction. And once it travels towards this direction, you start to see that the sun is moving closer into 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then it hits that peak at 12 o'clock, where it kind of seems like it's just staying at that point until it travels and goes away and get darker and darker. You know, that's just the way the sun works. And um, during that time, everybody see the sun at the same time, depending on where you're at. In the United States, most likely, if it's 12 o'clock where I'm at, 12 o'clock p.m., everybody's seeing the sun at the same time because it's already morning. By the time it's California, by the time it's 7 p.m. in California, it's 11 o'clock where I'm at. So the sun has already traveled over here to the continent of the United States, and wherever else that light is brightened up at that time. So we have all been lied to. We all been brainwashed to believe that the sun is 92 million miles away, and it's not. That's just really all I have to say about that. You could do your own more research about that. But in reality, when you're looking at the sun, you're looking at the sun in its actual size. And I'm going to go deeper into what the sun is, because when you're looking at the sun, why is it called the sun? That means that's the actual presence of God that you're seeing. People don't realize the sun is the actual presence of God. He created the sun. He said, you will always feel my presence. That's why you can feel the sun rays. That's why the sun is the most powerful element. Nothing is more powerful than the sun. No element on this earth is more powerful than the sun. So when you're seeing the sun, you're seeing literally the Most High God every single day. When you pray, you're supposed to pray towards the sun. That's why they have, little things where people say you can't look at the sun for too long and things of that nature. You can't just look at God like that right now. It's impossible until he's ready to come down. And that's how we will know when that time happens. The sun will come down. The sun will stop. The sun will do something extraordinary that it never done before when that time comes. And I think that time is coming as we're getting closer and closer to the end of days and in Revelations. And I'm gonna go more deeper into more of that in this video. So yeah, the sun, is way more than what people think it is. Everybody walking around just looking at these things like, okay, hey, it's there. Hey, they told us this in school. And we walked around and we believed that. We believed that lie. Everybody believed that lie. So it's just time for everybody to wake up, and I hope, after this video, people will start waking up and start seeing reality. We're in a matrix. That's why they making these movies about the matrix, and these movies about these superhuman beings and these superheroes and these super gods. They're putting this stuff right in front of your face. We all know that God is in control. God is in control. And when I say that God is in control, I mean that, all these UFO sightings that everybody's seeing every day, our ancestors been here. Our ancestors not afraid to show themselves. They're just not going to be able to show themselves right now because of the conditions that, where I live in the United States, put us under. They put us in these conditions to be scared of these things. They put us in a condition where we're not ready to, interact or even see these beings right now. It's going to take 144,000. There's already 144,000, but it's going to take another 144,000. Let's be a part of that other 144,000. Everybody's out here doing all this protesting. We need to protest against the government. We need to protest against the White House. We need to protest against the United States. We need to protest against the school system to start teaching everybody the real knowledge. When I say the real knowledge, that's the real knowledge. the real knowledge of all the different cultures, the real knowledge of all the different angels, all the different gods, all the knowledge of creation, the knowledge of all this stuff that they took away from us, that they brainwashed us from. Even science even brainwashed us. Um, there's no such thing as gravity. There's no gravitational pull, and there's no type of force that's pulling things to the ground and making it stay there. Um, Gravity never was talked about or existed until Isaac Newton. He came up with the theory that the apple fell off the tree because it got pulled down and gravity pulled it off the tree. No, that's not how that worked. We all know that, and we all see that when fruit grows on a tree, it start to get weight to it, right? Now the apple has weight, and if you look at the stem gets thinner and thinner. So what happens is the apple automatically falls off the tree because the stem cannot carry the apple any longer. So how is that gravity when that was already designed to do that? Um, that's another thing that they brainwashed us about, and they brainwashed us to deceive everybody about the globe Earth model, and to deceive everybody about that we're, moving around in space, to have us believe that, because they don't want you to know the actual representation of the Earth and what the Earth is, and how the Earth is shaped, how the Earth looks, what the Earth actually is. So they brainwashed everybody to believe in that. Um, at least the majority of mass of the people to believe in that, because I just see everybody walking around just not getting up, going to work every day. They brainwashed us to think that we got to have a career, go to school and become something, and live this American dream. And that's what everybody trying to do. Everybody want to be fly, everybody want to be this, everybody want to be that, and it's just a distraction. It was all built upon a distraction of what reality is. Sorry, I gotta take a drink right now. My mouth kind of dry. So yeah, back into this gravity thing. And everybody can do their own test. If you take two magnets and you turn the magnets towards each other, or if you try to pull the magnets apart, you're going to feel a force. Everything should have a force, especially if it's pulling onto something. Same thing they say about water. Gravity is holding the waters down. No, water has weight to it. Water, you pour water into a bowl, what's going to happen? That water's going to go fill up that bowl and stay there. And that bowl has borders to keep that water in. You see what I'm saying? You see how they deceiving us? Say if the bowl was just the Earth and Antarctica. There's another thing they're deceiving everybody about. Antarctica borders the whole edge of the bowl, because that's what Antarctica really is. Antarctica is the ice cap around the whole rim of the Earth. Again, Antarctica is the whole ice cap around the whole rim of the Earth. That's why 13 different countries can go to Antarctica from any surrounding part of the whole entire Earth. From any part of the Earth, you can go to Antarctica. And that's what the continents being inside, closer into the middle of the Earth, Antarctica being on the outside of the Earth, and all the waters is surrounded. And I'm gonna go into a little bit about the continents and how we're all, standing straight up, and that's how the foundation is set. Because anytime you set a foundation, you have to set that foundation and where you can stand up straight. I don't see how they deceived everybody thinking that we're living on a ball a globe model Earth when everywhere you go, you have to stand up straight. I don't care where you go at, every continent, any island, any beach, any bridge, any airplane. You're standing up. You're literally either you sit down and you straighten up your back, or you stand up. You're always on the foundation. Um, and I say that because even if you go up and down hills, you could feel that you're going up and down the hill. And if you try to stand on that hill, you're going to fall. You can't stand straight up on a hill. Um, if you build a foundation on a hill, you still have to set the foundation to be flat to where you could stand straight up. And that's how they deceive people too, because they said, "Oh, well, people are living on these little hills and these little ledges and these little mountains and blah blah blah." But if you go inside their house, if you walk up them steps, you're going to be on a flat foundation where you have to stand up. There's no tilt to the foundation, and that's how everything is set up around the whole entire Earth. Um, when you're traveling, when you're going, you're doing nothing but going up into the sky and coming back down. That's why when you're on an airplane, the flight attendant is standing up the whole entire time, and you're sitting down as if you're, driving around riding in a car. It's the same motion. It's the same motion, people. Airplanes aren't designed to fly sideways. Airplanes are designed to go up, and then they straighten itself out to where it's flat, and then it goes back down. If you look at the actual flight path, Google the flight path, and you'll see a flat map, and you'll see how the lines are just jumping back and forth to where the different continents are. Just kind of try to visualize that. You take a map, and every time they show you a map, it's always flat. So how is oh my gosh, that's just the answer right there. Every time they show you a map, it's flat. So why are we not bending that map to travel? Somebody answer that question. NASA answer that question. School system answer that question. So why are they lying to us? That's why I said, if we're doing all this protest, we need to protest against all the lies. They're lying to us about everything. People, I want people to understand that this thing is serious right now. I'm not just talking just to be talking. Something right now is telling me that this information need to be put out here. Maybe somewhere down the line after this, I'll be able to, show videos and, show a presentation. But right now, it's just, me talking. This is what the Most High is sending me to do right now. And being as though the time period that we're in right now is somebody that needs to, tell the mass. And I want everybody to share. I want everybody to comment. I want everybody to give their insight, their feedback on what they feel, because I really see a lot of people waking up. I'm looking at these videos, and people showing UFO sightings, people showing videos of demonic spirits, people showing videos of ghosts, because when somebody died, they're still here, their soul is still here, and this is how they could conjure up enough energy to even show their self. Anytime you ever see a ghost, you're going to see a ghost just like you're looking at yourself. You're going to see a ghost like you're looking at it in a physical form. That ghost was able to conjure up enough energy to show their self, and even in photos and things of that nature. But that's a whole nother story. You could watch stuff on TV about this. They have TV shows about this type of stuff, and so everything around you is what you see, but because our minds is only working on what 10% at the most. A lot of this stuff is blocked out, and this is what the creators and the elites was designed to do. To block us from these things. Okay, so I hope everybody been kind of following me so far, and if you haven't, I know I was really supposed to make this video and breaking down into different subjects, so I won't be going back and forth, jumping back and forth talking about different things, but I didn't really have the time to do that. So um, with this pandemic thing, um, I think what this pandemic thing is, they're trying to distract everybody from a real event that's about to take place. Um, and I say that because I think that in this generation, in this time period, that we're going to actually see the event when the Most High do come back. Um, you can look in the sky; it's the brightest star that's in the sky. If you stare at it too long, it'll say hi to you. It'll start flying around. Nibiru is here. So basically, what Nibiru is doing, they're waiting for the United States, or not even just the United States. And I keep saying the United States because that's where I live. The United States work with China. They work with all these corrupt nations that has governments where people live, and they're seduced to the way the government, the rules of the government, or we are not the only people that's protesting. It's other countries that are protesting against their corrupt government and their corrupt school systems and their corrupt the way of living and their corrupt way of life. So that's what I'm saying. It's time for everybody to come together, and I really appreciate you people, all my people, all the brothers and sisters that's out there, no matter what race you are, no matter what culture you are. Y'all really shown how much y'all are coming together, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to change the mindsets of us. Well, we didn't really grow up in that time period, you know. And I say time period because my mom was, my mother was born 1970, so she was living a time period that, you know, everything was, you know, kind of free for the most part, but still a generation where if a black person going to a store, they was watched, you know, just growing up in poverty, because a lot of, you know, they have a lot of assistance, you know. And my generation was born in the late 80s. We didn't really get to see that. Everything was changed. And I just feel sorry for the generation right now, because the generation is really seeing the corruption. So I have nieces and nephews and cousins that's around my age that has kids that's 10 years old and younger, and they seeing all this violence, all this corruption, and I didn't even get to see that growing up. And even now in my early 30s, it's mind boggling that this type of corruption is going on. So is it to really actually say that we're in the end of days? It just seemed like it ought to be. Ain't nothing changing. And with this presidential debate and the cops killing and everything like that, it just really seemed like it. It seemed like they're trying to start a race war, but it's not working, because look, there's too many y'all old people that was born 1970 and back that really grew up with parents that were still racist, against other prejudice, or not, I'm gonna say racist, I'm gonna say prejudice, because anybody can be prejudiced, no matter what race you are. Anybody can be prejudiced. A Chinese person could not like nobody that's only in their culture, you know, only in their race. A black person could not like anybody else that's not in their race. So a white person could not like anybody that's not in their race. So that's where this really racism stems from, just from prejudice, because they grew up in a world where everybody stayed to themselves. We living in times where it's more people, so you know, people traveling from different countries, everybody integrating, and that's not what they want. They don't want no integration, because integration brings everybody together. They don't want that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want a black person and a white person walking down the street holding hands, being friends. They don't want a Chinese person and a white person, or a Hispanic person, to come together and just build and just not worried about race or anything of that nature that's stopping them from, you know, succeeding and doing the right thing. They don't want that. So they just trying their most best way they can to try to do this. But as you can see, we're not taking that. And I'm not saying that the people that's looting right now, I'm not saluting them, but y'all got to think, the government, y'all got to think that, it's people that still sane and people that think that it's wrong. So they're going to react, and it's just getting worse. So that's why I say, even with this, the coronavirus, it's a lot of stuff that's going around said about that. Personally, I don't know anybody that I know that's a friend of mine or anybody in my family that has gotten coronavirus. I know people that got tested. I got tested, and I was just hoping that I wasn't one of them random tests that was going to ding back to say I had the coronavirus. But of course, say, oh well, you might not have any symptoms of it, just to make the numbers look higher. Because some people are getting sick, and some people are saying have it, and it's same thing with Donald Trump. There's no way that Donald Trump had a coronavirus. He been quarantined for 14 days, and he still has it. There's no way that Donald Trump, even during the pandemic, is able to hold 35,000, 50,000 plus rallies. There's no way that that's possible. So what is really going on? The news keep contradicting themselves. They're going around saying that cases are going up. Cases are going up. This pandemic thing is being pushed every day to be talked about. This pandemic thing is being pushed every day to not have us forget about the pandemic. Think about it. So they're reminding us every day about this pandemic. That means something else is going on. They're distracting us from something else that's about to take place. I don't know if it's a staged event. Everybody just got to keep their eyes open. You know, but that's why I say that we have to fight back against the government. We're doing all this fighting against, ourselves or other races, or I don't know if they're I don't know what their agenda is with this, trying to start this race war thing. It's too many. It's too many young people, and look at the crowd of policemen that's doing it. They're older. You know what I'm saying? Their parents probably was prejudiced. Um, I'm not speaking on saying that that's what it is, but there it's older. It's usually somebody that's a little older, around my mom's age, born in 1970 or 1975 or below, around that time period, around that time frame. So yeah, I just want everybody just to wake up right now and just spread the knowledge that you know we're living in times right now where we need to fight back against the government. We need to take that same same energy and march around and say that we want we want what's right. We want to know the answers. We want to know why y'all lying to us. We want to know about why y'all lying to us about the earth. We want to know about y'all why y'all lying to us about science. We want to know about y'all why y'all lying to us in the school system. We want to be taught the right things. We want to be taught the correct way. We want to have the correct knowledge. Why is y'all brainwashing us from this information? Why is y'all trying to take this information from us? Why is it not the need to know these things? That just goes just to say the devil is still here. The devil never left. The reptilians, the devil, they're still here. So this is what it's going to be until a change comes, until we all come together. And all I'm asking is 144,000. If this video could get 144,000 views, I know that this video reached out to 144,000 people plus. So we have to double that 144,000 number in order to be saved, in order to fight back. That's all it takes is 144,000 people or more. If we double that number, we could triple that number, or we could quadruple that number, and there's no way that we can still let the government win. We want change. We have to start wanting change. We have to start demanding that y'all start teaching our children the correct thing. Y'all start teaching us today the right curriculum about the things that's happening around what the earth is, and stop teaching all these lies you know about the sun, and about the firmament, about space, about every little thing. We want them, even with the food and everything like that. We have to protest against that with this stuff that they're putting in our food that's making us sick. We have to start protesting about the medicine. Um, Even with medicine, how they formulate pills and put chemicals in it, and which causes side effects because they're taking the natural element or the natural source of what the medicine is from herbs and every anything else, fruit or anything else that has a potent healing process to that medicine or that remedy, and formulate it into a pill, which they're adding chemicals, and that's why I call side effects. And that's how the pharmaceutical companies are able to become a $1 billion industry. And yet you see all these a lot of people that's doing their little side businesses or their little small business where they're selling these actual organic products that's coming from different continents and things of that nature. And that's why you have people in different continents that's living for a long time, because they're not seduced to the governments and to stuff that's going on around the world. You have different tribes that's a part of 144,000 because they're living right, and we all could live right too. We all come together and try to fight against the government and fix this. We got to stop fighting against everything else. We need to fight back and demand against the government. I don't know how we're going to start this, but it just need to be started now. I don't know about the presidential election. I don't know who's going to win, but it doesn't matter. Even if Joe Biden wins the election, there's still going to be corruption. It's not going to change the minds of people. People are still going to do what they want. People are still going to be killing. People are still going to be doing bad things. But the change starts now. If everybody help one, teach one, kind of thing, and we all could come back and overpower them. Or we overpower them, we would take back our school system. If we overpower them, we would take back our housing. If we overpower them, we would take back our money. If we overpower them, we would take back our laws. If we overpower them, we would take back, pitting the world back to where it's supposed to be. Like I said, even with the food, and they putting all these chemicals in the food, because you have food traveling from where I live at in California, because certain stuff is done over there in California. So that when they produce these materials, they have to put things inside of it for it to have a longer shelf life, and that's what's deteriorating our body. That's what's causing people to get sick when they get older. Somebody might think they're healthy all through their lifehood, and as soon as they turn 50, they have complications, or as soon as they turn 30, they have complications, or as soon as they turn 20, they have complications. Everybody's body is different. That's why they do these things, to affect us. Everybody's body is different. So we should have farmer markets in all neighboring parts of where we live. That way we know that we're getting clean, organic stuff instead of having it travel. Every state should be equipped with that. Or even if it's a neighboring state, so they can mass produce for the other places that might not have them other resources. So if you take, even if it was the United States itself, and you divide the United States up in 4 parts, there's enough on each side. If you make an X going down in the middle, and you make a line going down in the middle equally, and you make a line across going in the middle equally, so you have those neighboring counterparts that are able to hold these natural resources, such as spring water, which is alkaline water. Do not drink purified water. Purified water is acidic. That's why the purified water is in mass production. They put these things out here in mass production to mess with the body. Don't drink purified water. Tap water is better than purified water, because tap water you could take, and tap water you could turn it to alkaline water. You take the tap water, you boil it, put some salt, sea salt to be exact. You want to put sea salt You want to add the minerals back into the water when you boil it. And then after you let your water boil, I would say you let your water boil, or let the water go to a boil, fill it up, and you might have to fill it up again because you're going to let the water clean itself out, add more water to it, then you're going to turn it down, and just let it continue to bubble. I would say you could do this process for up to an hour. That's all you might need. An hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how you want to do your water. And you want to take that water, you want to put a lid over it. You want to get a clear lid, a glass lid, and then you're going to just turn it off, and you're going to let that precipitation just let it do its thing. It's the same thing with the rain. You're adding the minerals back into the water. It's going to dissipate down and drip down back into the water. It's going to cycle itself around and around and add minerals into that. And then you want to take that water and you want to freeze it or cool it, and then it's going to be good to drink if you don't have the resources to buy spring water, or if you want to just do your water yourself. That's how you clean the water and you bring the minerals back into the water. The same kind of thing that happens with the springs and everything like that. The water cleans itself out, even if it's all this. The water filters itself out, even with all the, airplanes and, the with all the stuff that they're spraying from the jets and things of that nature and stuff like that. That's affecting the crops and really affecting the air and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot, but yeah, y'all, we have to start doing different things. Hopefully this video was a help for anybody today. Like I said, this video is just for for us to start waking up. I will have more videos farther down the line in the future. So I have to break this video back down again, but I just wanted to get this out there before the election. It has nothing to do with changing your mind about the election. It just has something to do with, bringing us up to par of what's going on, the reality of who we are, the reality of what we are, and the reality of what this earth is. So, there is a God. You're looking at God every single day. When you see the sun, that's a presence. You're seeing the sun. You get what I'm saying? You're seeing the Son of God every single day. You see him every day. You feel him every day. So that's how we got to start looking at the sun. There's no way that the sun could be so powerful and it don't have no significant meaning. What other reason could it be? You get what I'm saying? So if everybody just acknowledge that, and then anytime you see the sun, just be thankful that you're seeing God, you're seeing the presence of God, you're seeing the Son of God, you're seeing God in his another state. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing God in his physical state, but you're seeing God in his state, which he promised to, hold us down until his return. So everybody have a good night, a good day. Bless everybody. I love everybody. And everybody, let's just spread the love. Let's spread the change. Let's, demand change. And I will have other videos about how can we start these minor protests against the government and to take everything back, because we have no other choice, because I don't know what's going to happen after this. It's going to get worse, or we got to be the ones that stand up and make it better. And they can't stop they can't stop the next 144,000 force that's about to take place, or the next triple. We're going to triple the 144,000. We're going to, because when I say 144,000, you have to add them numbers up, because 9 is the highest number. Everything after 9 repeats itself. They say that, they brainwashed us and believe in 7 was like a holy number. It's a lucky number. 9 is a lucky number. That 9 is powerful. That's why when you look at your phone dollar, that 9 is the last number because 9 is the highest number. There's nothing more powerful than 9. Everything after 9 repeats itself because once you go to 10, you have that 1. And then you have that 0 that's going to repeat itself again. And you're going to have that 9 that's going to repeat itself again. So 9 is the last number. 9 is the highest number. And 9 is really a number that can be scientifically broken down into so much things. So, well, that's all I have to say. There will be more. So bless and peace and love, people.